Okay, right. I hope everyone's having a good time. Uh, I think today I'll teach you guys inputs because I'm thinking the next assignment is you guys will have to write something that takes information and displays it, for example. So, let's say what's an input? Oh, for example, very basic one, Google search. Okay. So you see this box here where you search stuff. This is an input box. All right. 1 second. Sorry. Okay. So this in itself is an input box. Where else is an input box? All right. So you see when you go to Instagram and you have your phone number, username, address, and your password. This is also an input box. All right. Same thing for Facebook. Same thing, I believe, for
Twitter.
Twitter. Yes, yes, correct. Twitter. So I want to teach you guys how you can draw. I don't know. I don't know if I can say draw, but how you can use this to collect information, for example, and then do something. So imagine if you wanted to build a little app where you log in and then you display something. Yeah, we can learn something like that. I know I promised yesterday we'll do image filters, but this also counts in that section for inputs. All right. There's so many inputs. All right. I'll just quickly show you there's so many of them. All right. So you see there's like so many. There's a button, there's a checkbox, there's a color. Oh, I didn't know there was a color. Interesting. There's a date local, there's an email, there's one where you can actually upload a file. Okay. There's one called hidden where you hide stuff. There's actually one for image. I didn't know that. There's some of these are new to me. I actually didn't know. Um, there's a range. There's a search. Whenever you go to like YouTube and you search stuff, that's also something there. Yeah, and all that cool stuff. So these are the things I want to teach you. Not all of them. Some of them you'll learn by yourself, but I'll give you enough information for you to go by yourself and do stuff. All right. So let's go, shall we? Oh, and sorry for the awkward pauses. Sometimes I'll probably mute myself to cough. Okay, so let's start. So let's go live. I'll post a code on Slack after this. All right. So let's do the first one. Inputs. So if you go into your code, sorry, I'll make the code a bit bigger so you can see. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right. So if I go inputs and press the tab key, by default we'll get text. All right. Ow, sorry. So input type text, you see? So it's created this box over here, or a rectangle, if you will, in here. So you can actually type stuff here, where you can go salad, for example. If you want the dates, you can go inputs. You change the type to date. All right. And what does that look like? It looks like this, where you can select a calendar. Okay. You can also do input type password. Okay. So input, sorry, we go input and we go password. All right. So imagine Cooper wants to log in into Slack without us knowing anything. She can type anything and we won't be able to see it. Okay. So it'll be hidden in these little dots right there. We've also got input hidden. So I'll show you something funny. So you can go input hidden. So you'd expect there'll be 4, right? So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd expect 4 to be on the screen, but somehow there's only 3. But if you go inspect, you can look inside the code and there's 4, you see? But this one is hidden. So imagine you have information that you want to pass to, let's say, to your backend or something, but you don't want the user to see it. You can actually hide stuff here. Okay. So you can actually, do some pretty cool stuff with input type hidden. All right. So I'll show you guys that. And there's also inputs radio button. I think it's radio. Let me check. Yeah, there you go. So we can actually have a little blue dot right there. Then you've got inputs, checkbox. All right. So with the checkbox, you can actually tick it, untick. Okay. So you can do stuff like this. Now, this is all cool and handy. You might be asking me, well, do we need to learn any of this? Yes, you do. Because in the real world, let's say you're going to work for a company, they're going to say, build us a form, okay? Like a customer survey or something, and collect data, all right? Let's say they want you to collect the first name, last name, age, date of birth, etc., etc., all right? They'll ask you to do stuff like that. So if you don't know how to do inputs, then you're not going to have a good time, okay? So our exercise, which we'll see how to do it, but I'll let Mr. Phillip determine the flow of things. Okay, we're going to create something where you can go input. So let's make this a name. So let's go ID equals name. All right. Now, you might say we need some sort of label to tell us that this is a name. Easy. We also use something called a label like that. All right. So we'll just go name. Okay. Easy. Very easy, right? Easy peasy stuff. Now, what we do is, let's say we also want to take location, I guess. Now, not location. Let's say you want to take so name, age. Okay, let's do age, shall we?
Mama.
Age. And then let's go label. And let's go age. All right. Maybe I'll wrap these in a div tag. So and then let's go like that. So we'll wrap this in a div. So it looks okay. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah, that looks okay to me. Styling can come afterwards. All right. Now, let's say if let's put a button here, shall we? We've already done buttons before. Remember when we did our calculator, we did our button. All right. So let's go button and let's go submit. All right. So let's give this one a class of submit. Okay. So what I want you guys to start doing is to start thinking this way. Because prior to this lesson, all we have been doing is take things, display things on the website, on the HTML page. But I want you guys to start thinking in a way that what if someone gives you something? What do you do with it? Like if I went to Leon's website and I entered information, what is he going to do with it? So I want you guys to start thinking things in a dynamic sense. Okay, so think of the content coming from the user, not you. All right. So if someone enters here, like, let's say we go Leon, all right, and we say 12, what should we do? What should we do with this information? Okay. So I want you guys to start thinking about that. So obviously, if you click submit, nothing's gonna. I know. Sorry, I'm just doing it for an example. I don't want to expose people's ages, but thank you for for that. So if I click submit, right, nothing's happening. Why? Because inputs work very, very well with JavaScript. Okay. So they work perfectly with JavaScript. So that also comes back to I think my I don't know how to put it. It also comes back to how I want you guys to start going towards JavaScript now because you've learned a lot in HTML, in CSS. Like in CSS, you've done colors, backgrounds, width, height, animations. That's pretty much the bulk of it, but you haven't really done JavaScript to my satisfaction. So inputs will work very well to teach you how to use JavaScript, okay? Because it's in the name inputs. So someone types in something, you want the information to do something, okay? So let's say yes, Salim, you can be excused. Thank you. So let's say we want let's create a fake login, shall we? Let's create a fake login and then yeah, let's create a fake login and then if we manage to log in properly, we then go to the next page, shall we? Let's do that. Let's do that after this. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna create a script and I'll say uh how should I say validation because we want to validate, right? Okay, so simple. I'll create our JavaScript file validation.js. Now before I do anything, I need to link it to our page. Remember we have our index.html here, right? So I need to call that script, okay, over here, just like that. So script source validation. Oh, welcome back. All right. So, how can I test if the script is working? Yeah, simple. I hope you guys haven't forgotten what we did all the way back. Uh, all the way back in week 6, maybe, or 7. We just go console.log, and say Salim is back, just to test it. All right. Salim is back. Oh, sorry, I cannot type today. It's atrocious. All right, there you go. Salim is back. So our script works, okay? Which is perfect. Now, the next thing is, how then do we talk to our inputs? All right, because we want to get the stuff from our inputs and then do something. All right. So let's use a function. So window dot add event listener. So an event is anything that happens in the window. So please don't get scared when you see words like window, document, and anything. It just basically describes the HTML. Okay. So JavaScript and HTML, they talk together, using different terms, but basically window is anything inside this web page. Okay. Sometimes you might see it being called documents dot body. It's the same thing. Document dot body is this body right here in HTML. So don't freak out if you ever run into any code which says document dot body or window dot whatever. Okay, it's the same thing. I'll probably write a comment for you. And say window is equal to the whole HTML HTML body, I guess. All right. So that way when you read the notes, it'll make sense to you. Okay. Right. So let's add an event listener and say if the page is loaded, right? So let's go DOM content loaded. So we want the page to load. Okay. Now, add event listener takes two things. It takes two arguments. It takes the event and then also takes a function. Okay. So I'll explain what these arrows mean in a second. These ones here. So JavaScript went through a phase where it changed. Okay. So remember, I taught you guys how to do functions, where you'd go function and then you'd go lolo, right? This is how you learned how to do functions. Okay. Now, this is what they call the ES5 version. Okay. The ECMAScript. So JavaScript also has another name called ECMAScript. Okay. So it's ECMA script like this. Okay. That's another name for JavaScript. All right. So if you ever hear someone saying ECMAScript, JavaScript, it's the same thing. It depends on who you're talking to. It's like someone who says route or route. Okay. So let's look at the word uh, route or route. Some people choose to say route as in as in ROOT. That's how they pronounce it. Or route as in ROUTE. So I'm just giving you this so you guys can understand, right? So back to the lesson. All right. So this is what they call the ES5 syntax. Okay, so syntax. So syntax is just basically how you write the code. All right. Now in ES6, okay, in ES6 syntax, what they did was they allowed developers to write functions in a different way. So function Lolo in ES6 will be written as constant Lolo, right? Is equal to these parentheses. You see these parentheses right here, right? And then you'd go equals greater than, and then you'd put these curly braces after it. Okay. So this is exactly the same as this. It's just, it depends on what you want to do, how you want to do it. A lot of people now, they use this way. There are some people who still write this way, but it depends on you again. You just have to choose how you want to do it. Personally, I like to do it this way because it's short and quick. It makes life easier for me. And yeah, it's up to you. So please don't get scared when you see this. You can literally write this as function as well if you want, just like that. It will do exactly the same thing. It's just me personally, I prefer to use the ES6 syntax. Okay. All right. So let's go console dot log and let's say window loaded, right? Window loaded. Now, I know I'm going too fast here, but does anyone have any question so far?
No,
Ah, no. Okay, good. Right. So yeah, it will complain for now because it's saying that the function Lolo has already been declared. So what you can do to counter this, I'll just go ES5, and then I'll name this one ES6. Okay. And I'll write down here and say ES stands for ECMA. Sorry, ECMAScripts. Another name for Java. Sorry, JavaScript. Right. Here we go. So when you guys read this, it'll all make sense. Okay. Now, all right. So we've got these things here. So we've got text, we've got name, we've got age, and obviously we've got submit. Right. Now let's have some fun, shall we? Let's say if we type someone's name and we type a certain age, right? The color of this background changes. Let's have fun, okay? Because I like having fun. I know you guys want to have fun. So let's say that let's do our little program here. So let's create a function called uh um I don't know, guess the age, I guess. Guess the age. All right. And let's see. Just do it like that, all right? Okay. And before I do anything, I'll call the function here. So it's run whenever the window is run, whenever the page is reloaded, okay? So I forgot to also mention another thing. In ES5, whenever you do variables, okay, you used var. I hope you guys still remember this. You probably forgot, but I'll remind you. So var is a variable. What's a variable? A variable is it's a part of the program that holds data or information. So remember, if we said var age equals 10, it means that the variable age is always going to be the number 10 across the whole program until you change it. So variable age will be 10 here, but if I came down here and said age is equal to 100, now age will be 100, okay? And we can prove this. I can go console.log and I'll go age, right? So we want to test age there, and I'll copy this. And we want to test age. We want to test age after that. So you see, initially it's 10, and then once we changed it, it's 100. Okay. So this causes issues in the sense that if, let's say, Cooper wanted to have 5 ice creams, okay, or 5 chocolates in the get go, but someone changes the number to 2, okay, Cooper's not going to be happy, all right? So what you would do then is you would use a constant. So if you noticed, there's a keyword here called const, const. It's a constant. So what's a constant? A constant is a number that doesn't change. So if we go constant, right? Yeah, it's something that stays relatively unchanged. Now, I don't want to go into a scientific lesson, okay? So it's like, what's the gravity constant? All right, gravity constant. Okay, so we know that gravity is going to be pulling on everything or exerting a speed of or squared, all right? So it means that this value here, it's never going to change. The gravity on Earth is never going to change the amount of acceleration it exerts on you, on me, on Leon, on Audrey, on anyone else, even to Tender. Okay. So it's a constant, it doesn't change. But the problem with a variable, with a var, is it can be changed, as you just saw here. So what we'll do is we'll make things constant now. So we'll go const, okay? Or you can use another keyword called let, okay? It's up to you. Once you say let, it's very hard to change the variable, all right? I know I'm trying to confuse you here, but please bear with me. All right, these will make sense once you play with them. So for now, stick to const until you get more comfortable, all right? So let's go const name is equal to, now remember what I said. Window or document, okay, is equivalent to the entire HTML page. So what do we do next? We just go document, all right, dot query selector. So now we want to talk to the HTML. We want HTML to give us back something. We want to ask it for information concerning the name. Okay. Hence why we did documents dot query selector. All right. So these are this is like an inbuilt function for documents. You don't have to do it and you don't have to recreate or anything. It's there for you. You can access it. All right. Now, because it's an ID, remember we've been working with classes, okay? An ID means it's specific. Now, I'll give you a very practical example. I hope this will make sense. So it's like everyone here has an ID, okay? My ID has my name and my nationality and my address, okay? Mr. Philip has his own ID. Okay. Queen has her own ID. Cooper, you probably don't have one now, but you probably have a school ID. Okay.
I don't know
Which you
what
can,
an ID is.
identification. It's just a card. It's like, have you seen Papa's license?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's an ID.
So that's an ID for the car.
No,
No,
that's
it's like his thing, but it helps him so that he doesn't get in trouble.
exactly. So it's an ID which identifies him as the driver of that car.
As the owner of that car, that he has
Exactly.
gotten a license.
Yes. You're catching on. Good. So that's what an ID is. It's unique. It has to be unique. So remember when you do classes in CSS, right? You get the dot and then the class name. So you know how it's like class submit is dot class. Sorry, dot submit. What about an ID? An ID will give you a hashtag. Now, you see, hashtag name. So ID hashtag class will give you a dot. Okay. Right. So in this case, we just want to go hashtag name. Now, sorry, Audrey, I know you joined late, but I'll just quickly give you a brief of what we're doing. As I was explaining to the class, we've been doing things statically, but now we want to learn how to use inputs. Okay. So if I do something, if I went to your website and I punched in things like, for example, you're familiar with, Instagram login, right? So see this stuff here where you log in with your number, your email, or your username and your password. This is essentially input. So you're putting in data to do something. Same thing with the Google search. If we type in here and say, I don't know, let's go BMW X5. We put something in, we put some text in, then it gave us something back. Okay,
Oh,
so this is an input, you see?
ouchie.
Hey, oh, sorry. So with our little program, oh man, I've only got 6 minutes. Okay. With our program, we want to say if we enter a certain age, we want the background color to change. All right. So we've taken the name, we've got a name, and we've got the age. All right. So constant age is equal to document. Again, document is the HTML. All right. Dot query selector. Okay. And let's go hashtag age because we gave it an ID of age. Okay. And lastly, we want our button. All right. So we go submit is equal to document dot query selector. But now remember that our button has a class, it doesn't have an ID. So instead of hashtag submit, it's going to be dot submit. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to do this quickly. Cooper, please don't hate me. All right. I know you want to go have your chocolate, so I'll do this quickly. So
No,
we once.
I was asking him to buy me chocolate because tomorrow I'm going to church, which means he absolutely has to buy me chocolate. There's
That's
no
funny.
getting out of it.
There's no getting
If
it.
he doesn't get me chocolate, then I'm not gonna talk to him ever again.
Ah, that's a tough one. All right, I'll let you guys decide this one. So let's go. If we click a button, now how do we click a button? So I want you guys to also remember something that clicking something like if I click the well, you can't see, but if I were to click this, I don't know if you can see the feedback. That's an event, okay? So you go button. So essentially the variable which holds our button is called submit, right? So we go submit dot add event listener, okay? And then we give it the event clicking, right? And remember you also pass a function, but I'm gonna use the ES6 version as opposed to the ES5. Okay. For those who joined late, please refer to maybe the middle of this lesson where I explain the difference between this and that. There's not much difference. It's just same thing done a different way. Okay. So I'll use what they call fat arrow functions. Okay. So this is what these are called. So these are called fat arrow functions. I kid you not, that's the name. All right. Don't ask me. I didn't make that up. They actually did that. So if you get JS, fat arrow functions, that's what they're called. All right.
Fat arrow.
Yep. They are actually called fat arrow functions. That's their name. Right. So if we click this, right, we want to get the value from this. So if we typed Coupa here, right, and we click this, we want something to happen. Okay. So what shall we do? Let's create a div tag here, and we'll call this one class
Diana.
output. Yes, Diana. All right, output. All right. So I'll also call the output right here constant output. Okay, equals documents. So document is HTML, like we know now. Query selector. Okay. Dot output, because it's a class, right? Okay. So what should we do if we click this? We want to get the value of name. So if I typed Coupa and then I clicked here, nothing's going to happen. Okay. But I want to display hi Coupa under here, right? So how do I do that? Simple. So output, so here's our output, right? Sitting right underneath there. We literally just go output dot inner HTML, or in this instance, let's just go text content for your benefit. All right. Let's just go text content is equal to name dot value. All right. So, oh, sorry. I don't even know why I did that. Value. All right. Now watch what happens. Oh, wait. Let's go and say hi and then plus. And I'll show you another ES6 way to do this, which is much more efficient. And then you go plus hi named of value. How are you? Okay. So let's start with Salim, shall we? We go Salim and then we go submit. That's what's going to happen. See, it's taken the name Salim and said, hi, Salim, how are you? What if we typed in Annie and submit? You see, it's changed the name Annie, right? What if we put Annie there? You see? So this is what inputs are very good for. You take data, then you do something with it, all right? Excuse me. So, and now that's very generic to me. But we also want to do something with the age. So let's say if you're between the age of 1 to 20, you're green, meaning you're young. If you're between the age of 21 to 40, your amber is an orange, okay? 40 to 100, you're in the red because you're old, all right? So we want to change the color of this based on the age. So you guys can tell that either the person is really young or very old, okay? So let's go. Let's go. If now we're gonna do conditionals. You guys have forgotten, but I'll try and remind you as much as I can. So let's go if the age is greater than 1, because we want to start at the age of 1, and less than or equal to 20, all right? Wait, why is it? Okay, maybe less than, I guess. Huh? Why are you failing? And why is that an error? Oh, sorry. My brain literally just froze. There. So if age is greater than 1 and age is less than 20, right? So output dot style, because now we're going to use the CSS as well. Okay. Dot background style dot background. Okay. Is equal to green. Okay. So this means that you're young, healthy, no issues. Else, or no, we don't even need else. Let's just copy this. And let's go. If age is greater than 21 and less than 40, color equals orange. So you're most likely, 1 foot in the grave. All right. Then if you're definitely over 41 and less than 100, well, bye bye. All right. So basically going to be in the red. Okay. Now watch what happens. So let's go, Mr. Bangani, and I'll say I'm 5. Oh, why didn't you change? Why did you not change, my friend? Let's see.
So I think you forgot to link in the HTML.
Did I? No, because this is displaying, so my script is definitely there. I like the spotting though. Thank you. If my script was not linked, this wouldn't work. Or this. I'm trying to think. Oh, no. I know why. Because sorry. Let's change number. Okay, because this comes back as a string. Okay. Let's change type to number. Sorry. There we go. There we go. So now you can actually choose numbers. Sorry. I figured it out now. Sorry, you have to forgive me. I tend to forget. So let's choose 5 and then submit. Why would you do that? Or could it be, let's go pass. No. Dot value. Why did no one tell me? Okay, now I'm going to have to do it like this, dot value. All right. Okay. Let's go Vingani. And then what if I go 80? What's going to happen? Oh, see, look, now it works, right? And then let's put Seth at 10 and see what happens. I see. So it shows that Seth is young, healthy, and stuff. But if we put Mr. Philip at 25. No, I've already done 100. Let's put 25. You see? So he's literally, getting old. Okay. And then
25 is a
obviously
young age.
Leon said he's 15. So is Leon healthy and thing? Yeah, of course. You see?
No,
So there you go.
Let's try 100.
So Koopa 100. You can even do this if you want, but I'm just typing the numbers to save time.
That's
Kupai, you're literally in the red. Alright.
because I'm too old.
You're getting old, yes. So yeah. So that's pretty much today's lesson, but I'll share with you one last thing before you go. So you see how this, right? You've got a string, then plus the value plus this. In ES6 you can do this as well. You can go dot text content, right? Is equal. Now on your keyboard, I'll show you something. QWERTY keyboard. Okay. Right. So you see, I hope you guys can see this image. Okay. Yikes, that's very tiny. I'll get a bigger picture, sorry. Tool, size, large. Okay, I think I'll take that one. Cool. Right. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so you see how you got numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The very first key next to the number 1, there's like that little back tick. Okay, see how there's like the squiggly line and the little stroke that's going, from left to right. So that's called a back tick. All right. So if I tap my keyboard, I'll get these 2 back ticks like this. Okay. It's the opposite of apostrophe like this. Okay. It's literally slanted if you look at it. And then you go $ and then curly braces. So you'd go hi and then go name dot value. How are you today? So you see, this is the ES6 way, right? It's a lot more neat than this, if you notice, all right? So you can literally write things very, very nicely that way. So it's up to you. I'm trying to teach you guys the ES5 and the ES6 way so you guys can do what you want. But yeah, that's today. So if we go a little low here and we put 2, it shows that you're young and healthy. All right. So that's it from me today. I hope you'll understand inputs. When we come back next week, hopefully, if the Lord permits,
Sir,
yeah, we'll do that. Yes. Yes.
may you please check your Slack and press on Kupakwashe?
Okay, I'll do that after. Wait, I'll do that after this. Sorry. So, when we come back next week, we'll do that image filter because it's literally using an input, right? And remember, at the start, we looked at something like an input radio. Okay, so we looked at input type radio button like this. So if we click one, we want to do an image filter for another one and an image filter for another. Okay, but that's for next week. If the Lord permits, we still have life. So thank you for coming today. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Yes, I am finished for now. I'll give it back to Mr. Philip. Thank you.
Thank you for the lesson.
Sir,
Thank you,
Bongani,
Queen. Yes, Coops. I'm going to respond to Slack. What's on Slack?